The man lives an ordinary life until he is shoved into a pit where toxic water is drained every minute.
いい迷惑だよな、ほんと。
After work, Kawamura relaxes with his colleagues as usual. He tells Case that he's going to marry his girlfriend. His friend gives him a small gift and they part ways. But Kawamura was so drunk that he didn't notice the open manhole. He manages to survive, but his leg is badly wounded. Kawamura bandages his leg through the pain and tries to get out. Several steps are broken, and he tries to grab onto the top railing with his belt, but it doesn't work, and he falls back down. Kawamura decides to see what his friend gave him. Inside, the gift is a lighter. He uses it to find his phone and calls his friend. But the answering machine answers him. Kawamura angrily throws a rock and hits the iron pipe. He then checks other numbers, but all of them are also unavailable. Only one woman answers his call. Kawamura says that he accidentally fell through the manhole after a party. Most likely some construction work was going on there. But there's a big problem. Kawamura doesn't remember where he drank at all, but he has a mark on the map, so the woman agrees to try and find him. After a while, it starts to rain. The friend arrives at the right address, but there are no construction sites or manholes in the ground anywhere. Kawamura looks for the nearest police station and calls the number. Kawamura explains everything he knows, and the policeman asks him to describe the hole he's sitting in. The policeman thinks it's not a construction site, but most likely an abandoned manhole. Another worker asks the same questions and sends a squad of police to the suspected area. Turns out the pipe is damaged and gas is leaking out. The friend is still trying to find it, but no matter how hard she tries, there are no manholes anywhere. Kawamura becomes suspicious. What if she's not trying to find him at all and is just pretending? But she denies it. Kawamura asks her to speed up. It's very cold and damp. His friend is surprised that it's not raining outside, so she decides that she's being pranked and goes home. Kawamura comes up with an idea to start a video recording and toss the phone behind a manhole, but it somehow miraculously gets stuck on the stairs. The gas becomes too much, and Kawamura notices a strange odor. To prevent it from getting worse, he tapes the hole with duct tape, and the gas supply stops. Then Kawamura finally knocks over his phone. When he tries to see the recording, the pipe cracks again. Kawamura has to crawl over and duct tape the pipe once more. A call comes in on the phone. The police have looked all over the neighborhood, but find no open manholes and believe that Kawamura is too drunk and doesn't know what he's saying, which of course makes Kawamura very angry. He realizes that no one will help him and tries once more to climb out, but he has no luck, and the stairs finally collapse. Kawamura comes up with a new idea: to create a fake social networking page and upload an altered photo of a woman there. He will post their requests for rescue. A little later, a friend calls. She works as a nurse because of what she asks to send photos of the wound. This photo scares the woman, so she asks for the wound to be treated. Of all things, only a stapler fits. He grits his teeth and closes the wound. By this time, 1,000 people have subscribed to his page. One user gives a tip: find the stars. But because of the downpour, he can't see anything. But the compass app on his phone works. All this he describes in his blog. A user asks, when exactly did it start raining? They highlight the approximate area where the rain started at that time. Some even joke that it was stolen by aliens. A user asks if he has any enemies. Kawamura tries to think of anyone who could harm him and leaves his guesses on the blog. The Prince of the Abyss swears that he will manage to save the girl and find the scoundrel. Kawamura promises to pay 100,000 yen to anyone who manages to find him. After a while, users found a lot of information about Kawamura's identity. He is rumored to be dating a lot of girls. Most likely someone wants to ruin his wedding. An employee from the firm suggests that it is Case. Kawamura asks, why does he think that? The user replies that during a private conversation, Case said that he hates Kawamura and wants to take everything he owns. Kawamura tells his friend that he was kidnapped by Case. He probably put something in the drink while they were drinking. Wanting to find out what was going on at the party, Kawamura watches the video. In the far corner stands a suspicious person dressed in red clothing. It was this hand that handed him the beer. The phone rings with a call from Case, who has heard about the woman stuck in the sewers. Kawamura confesses that he's the one doing the blogging and already knows that Case hates him. Case swears he had nothing to do with it, whereupon Kawamura hangs up the phone. In the distance, there's the sound of a railway. This could be a great clue for users. Suddenly, the Prince of the Abyss posts a photo of Case with his kidnapper. But not everyone likes the prince's methodology. By this time, the pit has filled with foam. Kawamura asks to stop looking for the intruder, but rather find him. Users suggest taking a picture of the manhole cover. This will help determine a more accurate search area. In the end, it turns out to be an old abandoned factory. One user writes that he is ready to come in 5 minutes, and Kawamura begins to celebrate victory. But the amount of foam only increases. The rescuer arrives at the right address and starts the stream. He manages to find the hatch, but unfortunately, it is not the hatch where Kawamura is sitting. Users notice that the masked man who advised him to take a picture of the manhole cover has deleted his account. So far, the foam has completely engulfed Kawamura. He, in desperation, decides to light a lighter and blows up all the foam. But by some miracle, Kawamura is completely unharmed, and someone's body falls out of the wall. Kawamura is very frightened, but immediately realizes where he is and asks his friend to come to help as soon as possible. A long time ago, the real Kawamura was killed by an unknown man. Afterwards, the killer asked the doctor to make his appearance as similar to Kawamura as possible. Now he knows who kidnapped him. It's the real Kawamura's girlfriend, whom they used to date but had to break up. From that day on, she has always haunted him. To make his story believable, Kawamura creates an account for this girl and confesses everything on her behalf. He then creates other accounts that call for the kidnapper's murder, which makes him crazy. The prefectural government calls the phone. A man informs him that the police are on their way to help. Kawamura pretends to have already gotten out, but the policeman insists that he needs to wait and answer a couple of questions about Case. Just as suddenly, someone starts walking around upstairs and a call comes in on the phone from his friend. She's already arrived and is about to throw a rope. However, when he got up there in front of him was Orihara, the girlfriend of the real Kawamura. She is dressed in the same clothes as the man who gave him the beer at the party. Kawamura doesn't understand what she's doing here. Orihara explains that she replaced the data on his phone, and whenever he called his girlfriend, he would reach Orihara instead. She's going to take away his appearance. Kawamura swears he didn't kill the real Kawamura, he just used his appearance. But then how did he realize exactly where he was? And Orihara goes on the attack. Kawamura manages to throw the scalpel away. He says his life has always been difficult, but he's about to have a baby and he wants to see it. The girl takes pity and decides not to kill the man, but as soon as she turned round, Kawamura began to strangle the girl. The Prince of Darkness was watching the fight and shot Kawamura. By doing so, he thought he had saved the girl from the sewers. Kawamura tries to grab the phone, but the boy closes the manhole, ending this story. Write in the comments how you like this film, or just recommend something interesting. Bye!